Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flower Friday.
Hello.
My name's Amanda.
I'm Sherry.
And we're the mother-daughter designers at Grace Monroe Home, where we help you transform the ordinary home into an extraordinary home.
That's right, and we have got something just a little different today that we're going to be doing. We are going to make a pumpkin centerpiece, and this is going to turn out so cute. I think I'm excited about making these. And this, we're using the little, we're using the pumpkins frames from Dollar Tree. And now, I know that some people have trouble finding them at Dollar Tree. You can find these frames also at Hobby Lobby. But if you can find them at Dollar Tree, grab them.
Yeah.
Hello,
everyone. Those of you who are just hopping on, welcome. We are going to be making a DIY Dollar Tree pumpkin.
That's right.
Come on in, have a seat, have some fun. It's going to be a fun time today.
Yes,
so welcome.
it is.
Hey, Danielle.
Yes.
When you hop on, you'll make sure that you say hi and you let us know where you're watching us from.
That's right. And if you don't mind, just kind of sprinkle this to your friends and let them come watch too.
So, we do have these wire Dollar Tree frames that we're going to be using.
From yours. Look at there. Yep. And you just put two together.
Yep.
And
so for this project, we are using two. So, like we said, this came from the Dollar Tree. Now, we ordered them online.
Yeah.
And I believe they come in packs of 12 if you are ordering them online. But
yes.
Hopefully you can find them in the store.
That's right.
But we're using two of these today, and these are just very lightweight wire forms.
Oh, yes. They're really, really lightweight. And we're using these little small zip ties. You just zip tie them together in several places just to make sure that you got them together good. You just pull them, zip tie them, and we did that all around. You want to make sure you put some on the top as well to keep it together. If I can see what I'm doing, here we go. And then, once you get it zip tied, you will need some kind of a base. Now, we're just using these little wooden stands that I already had, and you can just staple this. Once you get the frame together, you just staple it to the whatever piece of wood. You could use a piece of wood, paint it a different color if you wanted to. You can use or stain it if you wanted to stain just a small piece of wood, just something to sit it on so that it is steady. Or you could always find a little frame or a little sign, something that says welcome fall or welcome, something, and just have your little pumpkin sitting on top of that and just staple it to that. Now, I did not staple these because my staples were too short. You will need some longer staples if you're stapling it to your base. I actually used screws and screwed them in. So anything like that you can do to get this on your little wooden base, and that way it makes it really steady, and you can use it as a centerpiece or something. So.
Yeah. And so, like she said, we're just using scrap wood.
Yes.
So that's all you need, just a piece of scrap wood.
Just a little piece of, yes.
This is was attached to something else at one point, but
Yep, and I just saved the bases. I can't even remember what these had with them, but I had both of them, and so I said, well, that's perfect. Yeah. That's what we need.
So luckily, that's what you get for being a little bit of a hoarder.
Yeah.
Hanging on to things.
Yep, I hold on to everything, just about. Trying to start getting rid of stuff, but anyway, it's a good thing to hang on to some things, so that's what we have done.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome. Those of you who are just hopping on, we are so glad to have you here with us today.
We are.
So we are, let's go ahead and show you the flowers we're using.
Yes.
Now this is going to have some cute pumpkins and flowers. We did just glue some floral foam to the bottom.
So right to the bottom.
Very, very simple. We just took some hot glue, glued a little piece right to the bottom of the base. We've got some really pretty sunflowers that we're going to be using today. Any kind of fall flowers would work.
Anything you wanted to use. We've got some little foam pumpkins we're going to use. And I did want to show you how we made the stem, because the only thing about these, if you see,
I don't know if y'all can see that, but
see how the stem's kind of short. So if you put a bow, you're really not going to be able to see your stem so much. So what I did, this is actually chicken wire that Hobby Lobby sells it's in the ribbon department. And just get that. Let me have that again and I'll show them real quick. You just take the stem, you take your ribbon, and you can just fold this chicken wire onto your stem and then just wrap it around and go as high as you want your stem to be. Now once I got this how I wanted it, I've got that. Cut that. Grab that. That's getting in my way. Yeah, let's just.
And when you do zip tie, you do of course
want to cut those off. Okay, so I just got it as tall as I knew I was going to have it, and then you just cut this off. Now this was a piece that was already cut that I'm using, so you get it as tall as you want it, and then I just kind of mold it into my stem just like that to make sure that it's really good on your stem. And then I took this jute cord, and you want to tie it off right here at the bottom. So I just tied a knot in it to start it right here at the bottom, and then just start wrapping it around it, just one right after the other. Just continue to wrap it until you get it all the way to the top. And once you get it to the top,
once we got to the top, we just put a little bit of glue. We used our hot glue. Now we are using a glue skillet. If you don't have a glue skillet, just a glue gun would work. We just put a little bit of hot glue right at the top. And then just kind of took our hands and pushed it in there. Let it dry.
Just tuck your stuff in.
And there you go.
Just like that. You want to tuck in all those little pieces of your chicken wire that's showing. And then once you do that, and you're gonna go around it several times so that it's a little thicker and you can't see your chicken wire. But once you get that, then you just cut this off right here, and then just take some of your glue and glue that right to your stem. And it would not hurt if, as you're going around with your jute, if you would put a little bit of glue ever so often, just so that if it were to start coming undone, then the whole thing won't come undone. So that's just something to make sure that it stays where you want it.
And now you could use ribbon if you wanted to wrap it in some burlap ribbon. You could do that. Or if you wanted to use just some fall ribbon, raffia, you could use that. Anything like that would be really, really cute.
Yes, it would.
Now we have just made just a 6-loop, just little hand-tied bow here. We're using the linen style burlap. This is just a really thin burlap. This is 2.5 inch. It's wired. You could use any kind of fall ribbon that you wanted to. And I will link a video showing you exactly how to make the bow. It's very, very simple.
Very simple.
And we're just going to attach it right to the pumpkin, right around the stem there.
And you don't want to, normally we make pretty big bows, but you don't want a big one on this because you wouldn't see your stem. And that's part of, making sure that this looks like a pumpkin, because you want it for people to automatically know this is a pumpkin. So you don't want anything that's going to cover it up too much. Yeah.
And if you just wanted 2 or 3 loops, you could do that. If you want, however many you want. But we use 6 for this one.
Yeah. Just a small little bow.
Katie, the ribbon that I'm using, actually, it came from Michael's, and it came from the Christmas section in Michael's last year.
Yep.
We always stock up because it's great. But you can get this ribbon pretty much anywhere. Like I said, it's just a linen style burlap.
Great.
It's thin, though, and that's why I like to use it. You could use regular burlap if you wanted to.
Yes, but this is anytime that at Christmas, the after Christmas sales, we stock up on that because we use it a lot, and it's great for all year. And she told you we've already glued our little piece of styrofoam in here. Now, you don't necessarily, if you don't have any styrofoam, you don't have to use the styrofoam. You could just kind of get all of your flowers in your hand, zip tie them, you know, how you want it to look, and then just put them here in the bottom and zip tie it if you wanted just to do that. But we've got the foam, so we're going to use that.
Yeah, and this is about a 3-inch piece of foam. You don't need anything really big. You just want just a little something down there so you can stick your flowers in.
That's right.
All right.
And the first thing we are going to do is we're going to put our sunflowers in. And we are, like she said a minute ago, we are using our glue skillet, so we've got to be careful. I may have made that stem.
Might run back yours up just a tad.
Yeah, I may have made that stem a little too long. Yep, I did. Let me cut it off just a bit.
Now for this, you don't want your stems as long as we typically leave them.
Normally we keep them longer, but okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to bring this. And now with this, we do definitely have a front and a back because, you know, we've got our bow facing the front. Now, if you wanted, so if you have a table that you can see all the way around or something like that, all you would have to do is put another bow back here. And then just make sure that you've got your flowers all around. So that is definitely something you can do.
That would be so simple to do. You would just make an identical bow, and then you would just attach one to the front and one to the back. And it would look like it's coming all the way around. It would. Actually, that would be kind of cool.
It would, yes. We may have to do that.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to put another one of my sunflowers, and I am leaving this stem a little bit longer because I want this to come out almost to the end of my pumpkin. Almost to the end, just like that.
Melissa, the pumpkin frames are from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to put my other pumpkin in. I said pumpkin, sunflower. I don't know where I got pumpkin.
And the wood base that we're using is just some scrap wood that we had. It was like a base that went to, I don't know, a lamp or something.
I can't remember.
Kept it.
I've had it so long.
Really, any piece of wood would work. You're literally just using that just to kind of sit it up just a little bit and hold it in place.
Yes.
So any kind of scrap.
So, yeah, blank, definitely anything. Anything would work.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead now and put my 3 little pumpkins in so I get those right where I want them.
Now these also, I believe, came from the Dollar Tree. They're very lightweight, and so what we do, we just take a stem, an old flower stem that we're not using. We just dip it in our glue, and again, if you're using a glue gun, you just put a little glue on the end, and then just stick it in the bottom. And that makes a little pick for you. So now we can just stick it in our foam.
Yep. So we're going to put that one right there.
So I think this is a fun little project.
It is. It's just, and I'm going to put this other one right beside it, but I'm going to have it kind of facing, I've got one facing front and one facing sideways, just like that.
Now you do kind of have to work, kind of squeeze your hands through.
Yeah, you
work
do.
Through
you
the
have
little
to, yep.
slot or whatever, little openings here. But that's really the most challenging part.
It is. And this one, I'm just gonna have come in right here beside my sunflower. I'm going to turn it around this way real quick just to get it, to make sure I get it exactly where I want it.
Now the only thing with these pumpkins, you just want to make sure you kind of just stick it in just a little bit, because if you stick it too far, you're going to go straight out the other end.
Yeah.
Just trust me, I've done it quite a few times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that one does not want to hold up where I want it, so Let's see. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to put my little berries in. Yeah. I love these little berries.
And these berries, you can use any berries. I think these were
Yes.
from Michael's, but
Yeah,
you can even use the little ones from Dollar Tree if you wanted.
Sure could.
And the sunflowers
Easy.
from Dollar Tree if you wanted to keep it all Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely can.
And the funny thing is,
I did not put much glue on my foam, and it's come unglued, but that's no problem. I can glue it back later.
we have so many of these frames, and we were trying because I don't know, somehow we ordered like a whole lot of them last year.
Yes, and I don't even know.
And we never used them.
And I don't even know what happened, but all of a sudden we had tons of them.
So we wanted to think of something really neat. A neat, thing
Something
to do with
that
them.
we could come up with,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so we're just putting the, putting the berries just wherever, wherever you've got a little hole.
Wherever
you
you want to stick them, that's right.
I will say, if you are doing the back as well and you're making it for like, where you can go all the way around. Today we're not, we're just doing the front and we'll just have the back plain. You could put another sunflower, same place you had the, where you had the first one, in the very first one we put in, you would want to put it directly behind that one, facing that way, just a little bit.
Yep. Okay.
But super cute.
Right, now I've got some pretty little wildflowers that we're going to kind of sprinkle throughout. I might take these apart. Let's see. I'm hoping I can. There we go.
And now, if you are watching us live, let us know in the comments. Just type the word live in the comments. If you're watching on replay, type replay in the comments.
Yes.
We are so glad to have you guys here with us today.
Are. We are usually making wreaths, but we just decided we were going to do something a little different today.
Now, one thing about this, you do want to make sure that you are covering up any kind of foam you have. So
Yes.
I'm just kind of pulling these around so that they cover up the foam, and we'll fill it in a little bit more.
Yeah, and
as we go.
you do need to do that. That's true.
So you're using the little...
Yeah, the little ones. I'm
And
just
these are just some
bringing
more little
some
berries
down
with
here.
little flowers. We're going to add some tan
Yeah.
in there, but of course you could do it whatever colors you want.
Yeah, you really could. I just thought these were just so cute. I love these little ones. But I'm cutting some really short because they're going to go right in the front around my pumpkins.
Oops, didn't do what I wanted it to.
There we go. Okay. Oops, I got my thing leaning backwards. There's my other one. Alright. Got one more.
And we're just going to fill in all these spaces
Mm-hmm.
as we go.
And you could do, like we were talking about, you could do any number of color schemes with this. You could do, if you wanted to do farmhouse, you could do lamb's ear and, white pumpkins or gray or, any number of things like that. There's just all kinds of things you can do with it.
Alice, you do not have to have a bow. Absolutely not. If you
No,
didn't have a bow,
sure,
that's what
you do not.
I actually mentioned that earlier. I said, well, you could, when we were talking before we make it, I said we could do a bow, or you don't even have to. It's really whatever,
Whatever you choose, that's exactly right. And it's okay to have some of your flowers coming out, you know, of your thing. You don't want a lot of them coming out because you won't be able to see the pumpkin shape. But, you know, you can have a few here or there coming out. That's okay. That is all
So we've got some little sunflowers we're going to add.
Yeah, I'm putting...
Put that around here.
I'll put this one on the back. Just right in there. Because you don't have a lot of space to work with in here. So you want to utilize it the best that you can. So I'm going to start putting... I have this boxwood that I'm going to use to fill in the space so that we don't see our foam.
Did you already use these?
No, I haven't yet. I was just going to start with this first.
Okay. I didn't think you had, but I was.
Nope, not yet.
You could also use fall leaves if you wanted to.
Yes, you could use fall leaves. I tend to like to use other greenery instead, but that's just whatever you prefer. So it is perfectly okay.
And I'm even going to come around back.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming around back with some of my greenery, and I think I'm going to put a few of my flowers around that.
Alex asked if you used just one pumpkin, could you hang it up? Yeah, for sure.
Yes, you could.
You could make it as a door hanger. That would be a very good idea.
Yep, you certainly could. There's just all kinds of things that you could do with this. And I'll tell you, I started to use the jute. I don't know where I put it now, but I started to glue the jute that, you know, the same thing that I wrapped my stem with. I started to glue it down like this on all the ribs or whatever you call these little things on a pumpkin. So I started to do that, but you could do that. I also had another idea, and if I didn't have enough, if I'd had enough, I would have done this because I thought this would be gorgeous. To take you can get wood beads that have the hole in them,
really pretty. I had
and
some
just
of those.
put the
Maybe
I don't think we had enough. So that was the only thing. But you could come down and just before you put your thing on, just go ahead and cover all of your things with wood beads. There's all kinds of things to do. Now, if you did that, you are going to have to cut your rib pieces from the base, but you can do that. Just cut them and then slide all of those on and then just glue them back. There's just all kinds of things that you can do. So you just kind of have to think outside the box. You could use yarn to do that. I actually thought about that too.
Yeah, you could probably even just use ribbon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. Let's see. I think okay, let me put this one back here.
Oh, Brenda said it would look good with little lights. That would.
Oh, it
you
would.
You could add some little fairy lights in there.
Oh, wouldn't that be cute?
Really pretty.
I like that idea. I definitely like that idea.
So we're going to add a couple of gold dahlias. Sorry.
That's all right.
Any flowers, you know.
Yeah.
Any fall flowers, really. You could use peonies, anything that you like in here. Cut that off just a little bit.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to come around the back with my boxwood. Oops, I think that stem's too long.
Let's see.
I'm so used to keeping my stems really, really long that I forget. And try to do
I
that,
and I have to
cut them back off.
Add another. And another thing with this, really, you can add it just as much or as little as you want. If you're more like, you just like more simple.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few sunflowers.
Yeah, you really could.
Would work just fine.
Yeah. And now if you wanted to, and what I probably will go back and do, just because I don't like to be able to see stuff on the back, you can use your greenery if you wanted to, but you could also just use the moss. Go back and cover your foam with moss. I have some. Let me show you what I use. Let me grab it. And the sheet moss is what I would recommend if you're going to do that. And you can just put that in with your little floral pins or you can glue it, either way. But a lot of times it's just as easy. You can find the little floral pins and the moss at Walmart even, and you just lay it where you want it and then just stick your little floral pins in, and that's going to hold it. And so I will probably go back and do that. I'm not sure. That's pretty.
Yeah, these are fun.
Pretty, yes. Okay. Let's see what I need to do here.
And you can, I think we mentioned this earlier, but you can poke them out of the little slats if you want to. I'm kind of doing that with mine because...
Yeah, I've got some poking out, and that's okay. Like I said, you can certainly do that. I've got some more of my little berries that I'm going to bring in here. Right there.
Well, these are just fun.
They are fun. They're just so cute.
Let's see, Rachel said, I can't tell if pumpkins or apples will be bigger this year. What's your opinion? Both. I mean, pumpkins are, listen, pumpkins are always going to be popular.
Yeah, you're always going to have a lot of pumpkins, but apples usually go over.
Well, I do know from talking with some people, some wholesalers actually, that pumpkins are supposed to be, apples are supposed to be really popular this year. So
they are.
I think it's going to be both.
I do too. I do too. So you can't go wrong with either, really.
I'm going to go get one more sunflower.
If you can get me one too, I would appreciate it. Got one more of my little bitty berries here. So I'm going to bring that right in here. And now you, of course, like we said, you do not have to do this anywhere nearly as elaborate as we have done. I mean, you could decide to put, thank you, but you could put just some of your, just 2 or 3 little pumpkins in there. You could put a candle in the middle, one of the little candles that, is electric or battery. I guess they're battery, not electric. But one of those, you could put one of those little candles in there with just a few little pumpkins. So, you can make it your own. You do not have to do it as elaborate as this, by no means. So keep that in mind when you are making yours. The main thing is just do it because they are fun. I think you will enjoy it.
And it's a great way to use these Dollar Tree pumpkins.
It really
I keep seeing them. Actually, Hobby Lobby has had them as well. So you can find them a couple different places. So if
you can't find them, you know, at Dollar Tree, if your Dollar Tree doesn't have them, because I know that people, you know, grab them up when they see them, so sometimes it's hard to find them.
I'm just putting this around the bottom just to cover up that moss, but
you just
really
want to,
you know, any kind of fall.
Yep, you just want to cover it
or whatever.
up.
I just think it's kind of cute.
Yep.
Jenny, you can attach it to the base. Like we just used some scrap wood that we had.
Yes.
But you can use just the large staples if you have a staple gun. We actually screwed it in.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, you can use your staple gun, and I did try that first, but it would not hold with this particular wood base that I had, so I ended up screwing them in. But, yes, you can, you know, anything like that will work.
You could even put a little fall flower there in the center of your bow if you wanted to. That'd be
sure, you could. Wouldn't that be cute? It would. I'm just going around to cover up make sure all of that is covered.
You just do anything with it.
Yep.
Just have fun with it.
That's the key. You just have fun with it.
And really, this is one of those projects where, you know, you could easily make it for $10.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
That's what I mean. You do not have to put a lot of money into this. You could do it very inexpensively, and it would be so cute. So just do however you want. And, you know, some people like less than others, you know, so if you don't like a lot of stuff on, you know, in yours, that's okay. Nothing in the world wrong with that. So cute.
Berries, but that's okay.
Yeah, mine has come unglued, so I'm going to have to glue it back. But, let's see, I got one little spot over here that I've got to get covered. Oops, I keep forgetting and leaving my stems long.
Carol, we did, I had one.
What are you looking for?
Where's the sample one we had?
Oh, right here.
Example one, I guess you would call it. So yes, Carol, we used 2 wire pumpkins. So those of you who are just hopping on,
I didn't glue that in, so it's coming undone.
We just used 2 of the wire pumpkin bases that came from the Dollar Tree, and we put them together and we zip tied them. And this was just one that we kind of were showing you earlier, but you just zip tie it all the way around. You'll want to use, you know, at least 5 or 6 zip ties. And we put them together so it has that 3-dimensional look. And they're just fun.
Yep, they really are.
Unique little
just something different, yes. And really, really, like we said, they are not hard to do. You can do this. There's no doubt you can do this. And you can make it exactly, you know, to your style. That's what's so good about these. If you want a real colorful one, you know, you can use colorful ribbon, and it's going to be gorgeous.
Carol said, wonderful. I ordered a case and I had 36. Thanks for the idea. You're welcome, Carol.
You are very welcome.
We had a big case too, and we were wondering what to do
did.
with them. So we just tried to think outside
Sometimes
of the box.
you have to come up with something, don't you?
Yeah.
I may need to find some, get a few more in there, but like I said, I probably will go back and cover up any that that I see with some moss. But that's basically where we are.
And if you wanted, you could even, you know, if you didn't want to use burlap, you wanted something more colorful, you could use the fall ribbon. That would be cute in there too.
It would.
Like.
Even with a mix it with the burlap.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be cute? It definitely would.
Yeah. So there is a lot that you could do with this one.
Yeah. So y'all just use your imagination and have fun with it. That is the key.
So y'all let us know, because I know it's like, oh, fall already, just enjoy summer, right? But who is a fall person? Who enjoys fall? I love it.
This is her thing.
Fall is my season. Now I love
think,
summer
honestly,
too,
though, I think most people tend to go along with you. I have to admit.
Well,
now,
I mean,
I'm a summer
I love summer.
nut.
I do.
I love my summer, but it's not that, you know, one of my little granddaughters the other day said, well, you don't like Christmas and you don't like Thanksgiving, because all of that, of course, she, you know, thinks about fall and thinks about those. And I said, oh, I love those. She said, well, then why don't you like it? I said, I don't like cold weather. If I lived somewhere else, you know, and it was warm all the time, it'd be different. Of course, it doesn't get that cold here.
No, we're in Alabama.
We're in Alabama, so it doesn't get. It's not like it gets freezing. Yeah. You know, we have you know, we're good. We're good here, but I just like my summertime, and I love my flowers in my yard, and you know all those things.
Well, I like summertime too.
Yep.
But you know, I love fall.
But I do love Christmas and Thanksgiving. Can't wait for Christmas. I'm looking forward to that this year.
If you wanted, like I just added that in. I don't know if I'll keep it there, but
something
different.
Yep. And like I said, you know, if you don't have, I was just trying to think what you could use. I think I've got something. Let me see. You could even, if you've got an old sign that you know, may not want to use, that would be ideal. It's just a little sign from Hobby Lobby. Paint it one color and then just use that as your base. You know, you could just use that. And where's that one? The other one.
Actually,
hand me that one that we put together right there, man.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one. See, you could just use that. Just paint it, and it would be just as good as these. And you could just staple it right to the sign. Just make sure to, well, I guess you could leave it to say "Think Happy" if you wanted to, but I think it'd be better to paint it.
Yeah.
But that's a little springy. But that
this
just
is fun.
Yes, this is fun. Uh-oh.
So there's so much that you guys could do with this, and I hope that you will give it a try for sure.
Yes, I sure do. And like we said, you put a candle in it. There's just all kinds of things that you could do. And you don't have to do much of anything.
No.
So, oops, I've got to fly.
So y'all, I hope that you have enjoyed us today on Flower Friday, and that this was a fun little project for you. I hope it's not too early to be talking about fall.
Yep, you know how it is. If you're in the wreath business anyway, you have to start early.
That's right.
Thinking about those kind of things.
Well, if you are just joining us, welcome. We are live every Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for Flower Friday Live. So y'all be sure to join us next week. We'll have some kind of fun project for you.
That's right. And make sure to go to our website. We have got lots of free tutorials there on making all kinds of wreaths. We've got other little projects like this, as well as even some recipes and things. So make sure to go there at www.gracemonroehome.com and then just look in the blog at all the different tutorials we've got.
We've got all kinds of fun stuff to keep you busy.
Yes, we do.
So we thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.